What up, y'all? This is your boy, Mr. Downtown Red Melody, and you're listening to the Entertainment Report for Thursday, August 7th, 2014, delivering some major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook or on Twitter, facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Mello, that's RAYMELO, and on Twitter at The Enter Report. In a video released by TMZ, Nicole Murphy addressed her breakup with NFL Hall of Famer and star of Live with Kelly and Michael Strahan for the first time Thursday, and did her best to make it seem like there are no hard feelings between them. Nicole was grabbing lunch in Los Angeles after a workout where she claimed it's all good between her and Strahan, glossing over the fact he was blindsided by the breakup announcement during his induction into the Pro Football Hall of Fame over the weekend, and that she had hunted him down in a hotel room to accuse him of cheating. Nicole was also asked about her relationship with ex-NBA star Jimmy Jackson after their Caribbean fling last month. She may be a reality TV star, but Nicole got some acting chops too. This is ironically hours after Nicole Murphy went on a search and destroy mission to find Michael Strahan in a Beverly Hills hotel room where she suspected he was cheating, and flew into such a rage she got kicked off the premises. It all went down at the famous Beverly Wilshire Hotel back in January. Sources told TMZ Nicole had gotten word that Michael was staying there and she's expected he was with another woman. TMZ told Nicole showed up at Michael's hotel room and announced and began banging on the door shortly before midnight, causing a major scene. Witnesses told TMZ Nicole was screaming Michael's name, saying, "I know you're in there with some bitch." She also yelled for all to hear, "It's Michael from Kelly and Michael in there." The commotion woke up several guests in neighboring rooms, some of whom stuck their heads out into the hallway. She ranted for 20 minutes before hotel security booted Nicole from the hotel. TMZ has no idea if Michael was ever in the room, but the door was never opened. Robert Downey Jr.'s son, India, is in charge of the felony possession of a controlled substance, TMZ has learned. As TMZ previously reported, the 20-year-old was arrested in June after cops noticed he was a passenger in a car in West Hollywood smoking something out of a pipe. Authorities say India, who appeared in Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, was in possession of cocaine. Sources told TMZ India, a first-time offender, is automatically entitled to a drug diversion program. In addition to the felony, India has been charged with misdemeanor possession of drug paraphernalia. Robert Downey Jr. thanked the LA County Sheriff's Department for what he called their intervention. Robert famously struggled with addiction and then overcame it in a spectacular way. Real Housewives of New Jersey's Jacqueline Larita will be returning for the show's sixth season. An individual close to the production told The Wrap. Larita's return was first reported by TMZ, but the insider says that she isn't out to get her sister-in-law, as the report stated. Too bad. According to sources, Larita was let go from the show last season because she was dealing with family problems. Apparently, she's rested and ready to return. She was rehired to bring some action to what producers felt was a sleepy season. At this point, former cast member Caroline Manzo has no plans to return. Estranged from her sister, Dina, Caroline will be back on Bravo with her own spin-off show in the fall. In addition to Dina, Larita will reunite with cast members Melissa Gorga and Teresa Giudice while meeting Amber Marchese and twins Nicole Napolitano and Teresa Apreta. A Bravo representative declined to comment about the situation. Now, in a related story, Bravo's The Real Housewives of New York City star Heather Thompson wasn't overly effused about her feelings regarding her castmate Ramona Singer's announcement on Thursday that she was separating from her husband Mario. She told The Wrap, "I just think it's such a shame. I'm sorry to see that they're having trouble. It really stings. But you know, sometimes shit happens." Thompson, who has had her own back and forth with Singer about choosing to have a vacation home in the Berkshires as opposed to the Hamptons, said she was shocked by the way she reacted to host Andy Cohen on the last installment of The Reunion. Ramona and Cohen butted heads over his line of questioning on her marriage during the second part of The Reunion, which was taped in mid-June. Thompson said she didn't want to talk about it. She was so rude to him. They were nice to her, but she said, "Who are you going to fuck tonight, Andy?" She was so rude. She continued, "I was in utter disbelief. You just can't imagine that someone speaks to another human like that, let alone your boss. It's not like we're a political company. It is what it is. You have to at least show decent respect." To say what she said was solely gross and rude. Thompson said that going through personal turmoil doesn't earn Ramona a pass for bad behavior. Thompson said, "No, nothing changes with Ramona, and she'll never think that way with anybody else." Part 3 of The Real Housewives of New York City Reunion airs Tuesday at 8 on Bravo. Dan Le Batard of ESPN's Dan Le Batard is highly questionable. An ESPN radio show, The Dan Le Batard Show with Struggs, has been suspended by his employer for putting up a billboard in Akron, Ohio, taunting NBA basketball star LeBron James. The advertisement read, "You welcome LeBron, love Miami," and featured a photo of the two championship rings the Miami Heat won during James' tenure in South Beach. It's signed by the radio program. That was enough to get the Miami native suspended by his famously LeBron-friendly sports network. ESPN spokesman Josh Krulwitz said in a statement, Dan Le Batard will be off the air for 2 days, returning Monday. His recent stunt does not reflect ESPN standards and brands. Additionally, we were not made aware of his plans in advance. This high-profile suspension follows another recent one at ESPN. Last week, the self-proclaimed worldwide leader in sports suspended First Take co-host Stephen A. Smith over remarks he made about domestic violence incident between Baltimore Ravens running back Ray Rice and his now wife. At the time, Smith said, "We keep talking about the guys, but at the same time, we also have to make sure that we learn as much as we can about the elements of provocation." Rice has been suspended for 2 days for the upcoming NFL season for allegedly beating his fiancée. According to Greg Coots, Miami Herald blog, Le Batard has been chatting openly about his plans on the radio. Le Batard, who has been a sports writer at the Herald since 1990, originally intended to post the below image as full-page ads in local newspapers, but the print companies wouldn't play ball, so he went with Plan B. Le Batard explained his intentions to Coots via text message. "It's just fun anarchy, all in fun," which of course will turn into Cleveland people getting filled with rage, poison, and irrational hostility and want to use those billboards as a guillotine. Sports are so great, the more rational the better. This is a publicity stunt disguised as a movement. Please don't tell anyone there is no actual movement. The sinning ad was intended as revenge for James opting out of his Miami Heat contract to resign with the Cleveland Cavaliers, who drafted him #1 overall in 2001. James is from Akron, Ohio, and played his high school ball locally at St. Vincent St. Mary. Legendary comedian Joe Rivers is at it again, but this time she is backing down. After an incendiary rant about the Israel-Palestine crisis on Thursday morning, the Fashion Police host is taking back her statements and claiming her words were totally taken out of context. Rivers had answered a TMZ paparazzi who cornered her as she got off a flight at Los Angeles International Airport. They started, we now don't count who's dead. You're dead. You deserve to be dead." Further inflammatory comments from Rivers included her own assessment that at least the ones that were killed were the ones with a very low IQ, since they did not evacuate when they were told to. However, she used much more diplomatic words in response to the video being posted online. She said, quote, "I'm both sad and disappointed that my statements about the tragedy of civilian casualties were totally taken out of context. What I said and stand behind is war is hell, and unfortunately civilians are victims of political conflict." Rivers also takes the media to task for choosing to paint her a certain way. The media, as usual, has decided to only quote the most out-of-context and inflammatory non-sequitur rather than giving an accurate account of what my intentions were behind the statement. However, this is not the first time she used strong language to express her opinions on the Middle East crisis. She used similar words in July to put the blame on the Palestinians. She told reporters in the July rant, "You're all insane, they started. What are you all saying? They started. For months this has been going on. How do I know? I've been over there. That's how I know. And I wish the world would know. BBC should be ashamed of themselves, and CNN should be ashamed of themselves." She also added in her apologies, she said, "We, the United States, certainly know this, as 69 years later we still feel the guilt of Hiroshima and Nagasaki." The media, as usual, has decided to quote the most out-of-context and inflammatory non-sequitur rather than give an accurate account of what my intentions were behind the statement. Along with every other sane person in this world, I am praying for peace. It is stupid and wrong, and I am tired of bearing the brunt of attacks by people who want to sell newspapers or gain ratings by creating a scandal about me that is non-existent. Netflix CEO Reed Hastings announced on Wednesday that his company passed HBO in subscription revenue for the last quarter, bringing it $1.146 billion to HBO's $1.141 billion. Of course, that doesn't mean Netflix is more successful than the premium cable giant by every measure. Hastings wrote on Facebook, "They still kick our ass in profits and Emmys, but we are making progress." He also added, "HBO rocks and we are honored to be in the same league." Yes, I love Silicon Valley, and yes, it's a hit. It hits a little close to home. Netflix launched in 1997 as an online DVD rental service after crushing the competition on the web and putting brick and mortar stores out of business. It began streaming movies and TV series online in 2007. The company entered the original programming game in 2011 with House of Cards, which handed Netflix its first Emmy nomination. This year, both House of Cards and Orange is the New Black have received multiple Emmy nods. And there are reports that Beyonce will once again grace the stage at this year's MTV Video Music Awards. The network has confirmed it's much more than that. In addition to performing, Beyonce will be given the Michael Jackson Video Vanguard Award live from the Forum in Inglewood, California on Sunday, August 24. Past recipients of the awards included the late Michael Jackson, who the award is named after, Madonna, Peter Gabriel, R.E.M., Beastie Boys, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Britney Spears, and Justin Timberlake. In addition to the Video Vanguard Award, Beyonce has 8 MTV VMA nominations this year, including Video of the Year, Best Female, and Best Choreography. She has the most nominations of the night, followed by Eminem and Australian rapper Iggy Azalea. This will be Beyonce's 4th time performing at the VMAs. She joins a growing list of performers for the event, which include Usher, Ariana Grande, 5 Seconds of Summer, and Maroon 5. Earlier this year, Beyonce shocked the music industry and fans by releasing her top-secret self-titled visual album with 17 music videos from Drunk in Love to XO online. Universal Pictures has acquired the rights to author Anne Rice's novel in the Vampire Chronicles series for Brian Grazer and Imagine Entertainment to produce with Alex Kurtzman and Roberto Orci. The deal ensures that Universal and Imagine will have an entire body of existing and future novels in Rice's The Vampire Chronicles series, including the adept screenplay for Tale of the Body Thief, written by Rice's son, author Christopher Rice. Other novels in the series include Interview with the Vampire and the upcoming Prince Lestat. Imagine Entertainment President Erica Huggins will oversee the series on behalf of the company, while Bobby Cohn will be executive producing. ABC's The View spent Thursday testing candidates for Jenny McCarthy and Sherry Shepherd's vacated seats. Individuals with knowledge of the situation told The Wrap. On Thursday, View watchers may have realized that Goldberg was absent from the season's last tape episode. She was on the inactive New York City set of The Chew, with returning co-host Rosie O'Donnell for the chemistry test. At least 9 candidates have been identified in multiple reports. All of the women's backgrounds, careers lie heavily in politics and sports. Several hail from MSNBC, where executive producer Bill Wolf will be departing in order to replace The View's longtime producer Bill Getty on the upcoming season of the ABC Daytime Talker. The 9 women appeared in broadcasting and cable, and other reports include Lauren Sanchez, co-host of KTTV's Fox 11 Good Day LA and 10 O'Clock News, previously lost a spot on The View in 1999 to Lisa Ling, recently appeared as a guest host on the show. October Gonzalez, married to former NFL player Tony Gonzalez. He's currently a studio analyst for the NFL Today. Although October doesn't have any entertainment experience, she was working at a bar owned by Dennis Rodman in Newport when Tony met her. The Wrap confirmed that she's now represented by her husband's manager. Republican advisor Ana Navarro has appeared on Meet the Press, Real Time with Bill Maher, and guest co-host of View. CNN contributing legal analyst Sunny Hostin, who also guest co-host on The View a number of times. Conservative political commentator S.E. Cupp, a 3-time guest co-host on The View. She has made several appearances on Crossfire, Real Time with Bill Maher, and Hannity. Bloomberg's television managing editor and news anchor Stephanie Rowley, a recent guest co-host of The View. ESPN and ABC's Sage Steele hosts Friday and Sunday evening broadcasts of NBA Countdown. She has co-hosted several times on ABC's The View this year. ESPN's Jameel Hill, co-host of Number Never Lies. She has also appeared on Mike and Mike, Rome is Burning, and among others. MSNBC's Nicole Wallace, author and communications chief for President George W. Bush. In addition to the above candidates, several people have auditioned for the show as live guest co-hosts, including Alicia Melendez, host of Fusion AM Tonight, GWN's Anna Babilal, ABC News' Hera Hines, and Pivot's Meghan McCain. ABC declined to comment regarding the replacements for Sherry Shepherd and Jenny McCarthy. The Wrap has reached out to representatives to the above-named candidates didn't immediately respond to requests for comment. Epic NBA draft bust. Greg Oden was arrested early Thursday morning after he allegedly attacked his ex-girlfriend, TMZ Sports has learned. According to the police reports, officers arrived at the Lawrence, Indiana home of Oden's mother at 3:30 a.m. to find a woman lying on a bed and holding her face. The reports say police observed blood, swelling to the nose, lacerations to the forehead and nose area of the victim's face. There was also blood on the sofa and floor. A woman who identified herself as the victim's best friend told police Oden punched the victim in the face. According to the reports, Oden told police, "Things got out of control and I started to go after the victim. My relative and witness tried to hold me back, but as I swung my arm to move them out of the way, they then punched the victim in the face. I was wrong and I know what has to happen." He also told police he had dated the victim for about 2 years, but they broke up 2 months ago. Oden was taken to jail and booked for misdemeanor battery. Oden was the first overall pick in the 2007 NBA draft, but his career has been marred by injury, and he never became the player he was projected to become. And finally, going back to The View, The View isn't just undergoing an internal shakeup, it's losing ground in its ratings race with CBS's competitor, The Talk. For the week ending August 1st, The Talk beat out The View in the key women's 25 to 54 and women 18 to 49 demographics, marking the second time in 4 weeks that the traditional daytime talk victor The View has been beset by the CBS show. For the week, The Talk averaged a 1.1 rating, 0.7 share, a 10% climb from last week among women 25 to 54, besetting the 1.007 rating that The View averaged for the week. Among women 18 to 49, The Talk also emerged on top, climbing 14% over the previous week for a 0.805 rating versus a 0.75 for The View. The Talk passed a major milestone during the week of July 11th, topping The View in both demographics for the first time ever. And that is your entertainment report for Thursday, August 7th, 2014. I'll be back tomorrow to deliver some of the major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment. This is your boy, Mr. Downtown Ray Mello. You can follow the show on Facebook or on Twitter, facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Mello. That's RAYMELO. And on Twitter @The Enter Report. I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye.